People have been asking why I make certain things. I will make something because I think some customer somewhere in the future will buy it. I have the luxury of having a 2,000 square foot shop. Okay. That and 2.5 acres here. So at worst, I get a container and start adding more containers if I have overflow, and I have done that. I have 2 containers out there already that I use for my overflow. I don't really have a lot of overhead, so that's why I can take some risk in making tables. I have, at any one time, more than 10 big tables here on carts. And the reason I have these carts is because each one will hold like 2,000 pounds. And they're 6 feet. This is 6 feet. 5 feet. This is 5 feet right here. And so these are real handy. And I could put 4 or 5 tables on here. Right now I have 2 on each side. And so I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 of these carts. No, why oak one? I predominantly work in black walnut. Well, invariably, when you have 9 pieces on your carts that are black, somebody will want a white one. So you've got to have the sailmaker. And this is kind of my ideology here. I have this one and I have a sycamore one. I don't make any more of those. I have the lumber. I have it sitting out there, and it can sit here forever as far as I'm concerned. Because unless somebody calls for it, I'm not making them anymore. Anyway, so I've got some tables on these carts that I've had on the cart for a while. Look at this one. So this is like a 10-foot table that is black walnut, and it's 119 inches, yeah, by 44. This is one of the first ones I did with a live edge in the middle. This is one of those you have to make a pattern for and to put the add-on piece. And it turned out nice. The right person has to come by. This has been on the cart now for maybe more than a year, and I suspect I'll hold it indefinitely. It's already been protected from bugs. And so these are long-term storage for me. They take up a considerable amount of my room, my workspace. And I could go a couple of months without selling anything on any of these carts. The cart's where the sales take place. So when a customer comes in and they already know what they want, all you have to do is have something in the size they're looking for. Maybe a couple choices in that size. I have some big ones, I have some smaller ones, and I don't really stock anything smaller than 84 inches. Yeah, there's no substitute for seeing the real McCoy, you know. There's no substitute for seeing the joinery. And you know, you get to look at the craftsmanship if it's in your possession. You can't just see all that from a picture, and you get to feel the weight. And I can put the lipstick on it, so that's what I call putting the final finish on. I can dress it up just before a customer comes and sees it. I can put it on a base. It's according to if I know what the customer wants. If they've looked at it before and they want to come view it again, of course, I'll make it look nice. You know, it's got 2 coats of tongue varnish on it right now. And so I'll hit it with a 320 grit and just lightly hit it with 1 more coat. And 4 hours later, it's going to be grabbing dust again. That's why the plastic. I'm trying to keep the dust down. So I've got a couple of these round tables that I've built. Let me see if I can push this big guy out of the way. All right, there we go. This one's kind of interesting. It's one of those oak tables. And one of the first opportunities I had to do this configuration. And the white stuff, I used, you know, it's kind of hard to get white fill that's hard enough to sand. What I use is diatomaceous earth. It was cheap. I had some on hand for my garden. And I mixed some in with the resin. And it was a real easy deal. It worked out really slick. I like it. I have sold a couple of pieces that have this white resin in it. So people like it. But most of the time, I sell with the dark resin. That's the coffee. And so I've got this black walnut one here that I did the same thing, except this one I pulled a real good edge on the table. That edge right there. I really like that edge. You can see the butterflies. I went all the way through, but you can see they don't go all the way through on every one exactly the same. So you just kind of taper the wood a little bit to show that you know that it was done that way at the maker's hand.